Picture a dense forest, the ground damp with decaying vegetation and towering trees overhead. Now imagine, instead of birds or large mammals, gigantic insects whizzing past, some with wingspans reaching over 70 centimeters, 2.3 feet. Sounds like a sci-fi movie, right? But this was real life during the Carboniferous period, around 300 million years ago. So, how did insects get so massive? And why did they seemingly rule the ancient skies and forests? First, let's set the scene. The Carboniferous, roughly 359 to 299 million years ago, was a time of abundant oxygen in Earth's atmosphere. Levels may have reached up to 35%, compared to about 21% today. If you've ever wondered why some prehistoric insects grew larger than small birds, that high oxygen environment is a major factor. If insects rely on passive diffusion of oxygen through their tracheal system, then more atmospheric oxygen means they can support bigger bodies without suffocating. Among these ancient giants, we find dragonflies, like Meganeura, boasting wingspans exceeding 65 to 70 centimeters. Another towering arthropod was arthropleura, a millipede-like creature over 2 meters, 6.5 feet, long. If you had wandered into a Carboniferous swamp, so you might have encountered a crawling, armored train of arthropleura munching through the lush vegetation. But the question remains, was oxygen the only reason insects flourished? Then we must consider fewer aerial predators. Birds didn't exist yet, and pterosaurs wouldn't emerge until the Triassic, leaving the sky largely open for insects. Sure, amphibians and early reptiles might have snatched them from below, but large, specialized aerial hunters, like the raptors or hawks we know now, simply weren't around. This ecological vacancy was a golden opportunity for insects to evolve and fill multiple niches, from pollinators to apex aerial predators. Time for a step back. Can you imagine living in a world where a dragonfly, the size of a hawk, buzzes over your head? If that doesn't grab your attention, think about stepping outside and spotting a giant millipede half the length of your car, scuttling through undergrowth. If you're feeling a shiver, that's the eerie charm of prehistory. Now let's push on. There's even more to learn about these colossal, creepy crawlies. So, oxygen and lack of competition were crucial, but there's another factor: climate and vegetation. During the Carboniferous, vast swampy forests of club mosses and horsetails proliferated. These plants provided plenty of shelter and abundant detritus for insects to consume. The extensive plant cover created microhabitats, moist, warm, oxygen-rich pockets, ideal for arthropods. If giant insects had a buffet of decaying matter and minimal environmental pressures, then it's no wonder they thrived in staggering numbers. However, nothing lasts forever. By the late Carboniferous into the Permian, the climate began changing. Oxygen levels dropped, making it harder for overgrown insects to sustain their enormous bodies. Meanwhile, new reptilian predators, amphibians, and eventually more sophisticated aerial hunters showed up. But perhaps the biggest turning point was the Permian extinction event, around 252 million years ago, which reset Earth's ecosystems. The heyday of giant insects ended alongside many other species. Still, their legacy endures in today's insect diversity. In fact, modern insects outnumber us in sheer mass, and they occupy nearly every habitat on Earth, from scorching deserts to icy mountaintops. They might not be as huge as Meganeura anymore, but their dominance is undeniable. Over 1 million described species, with estimates suggesting up to 5 million total. That's an astonishing level of evolutionary success for a group that's been around for hundreds of millions of years. So what's the ultimate takeaway? The oversized bug era was a product of lucky timing, high atmospheric oxygen, warm, swampy habitats, and limited competition from other flying predators. But as geological ages passed, climates shifted, new predators arose, and catastrophes struck, causing these insect titans to vanish. Then, smaller but more adaptable insects carried on the arthropod story, one that still unfolds today whenever you spot a dragonfly zipping by. It's a testament to how Earth's conditions continuously shape the size and diversity of life. If you ever get uneasy swatting a mosquito, be thankful it's not a meganeura aiming for your dinner. And that's why prehistoric bugs once dominated, because nature rolled out the red carpet for them, and they took full advantage. Thanks for joining our little time jump. Who knows what we'll discover next?